This is Superman, and today we will be doing a reaction to Winnie-the-Pooh. It's a Creepypasta video again. I really like these.
We're doing it because I'm awesome.
And because I'm more awesome than her.
No, you're not.
Nope, shut up.
He's
Let's
not
begin.
awesome, guys.
Let's begin.
Ever
That's
since
mean.
Noah could walk, he loved exploring.
Man, that's
I
great.
looked the other way for a second and turned back to see Noah, perched high on the counter, giggling uncontrollably
Oh,
as
that's
he reached
scary.
for the decorative cookie jar.
Well, that's
Noah,
something.
you know you can't have cookies before dinner. Get down from there. I casually
That's
made my
something
way
I
to our
could do.
kitchen counter and set him back to the floor with his toy fire trucks and fighter planes. Wherever you could find trouble, you'd also happen to find Noah. About his 3rd birthday, Noah became infatuated with Winnie-the-Pooh. I always enjoyed the old Pooh Bear myself as a child, and I was glad that my son gained interest in him. Play Pooh, Noah would shout. He had been watching the same VCR tape of the adventures of Winnie-the-Pooh for several months.
It's not that
I
scary.
watched the same tape as a child,
Not yet.
and I felt an overwhelming
Obviously.
feeling of nostalgia. It brought back heartwarming memories of my youth. With his 4th birthday arriving, I decided I would try and get a Pooh toy for Noah. I searched
no.
Walmart.
This is
Nothing.
good.
Dollar
Walmart.
General. Nothing. Even
Things
going
like
to
this
local
are never
garage sales. Nothing. Just as my hopes of finding Pooh were diminishing, I came across an old weather-beaten Pooh doll in my basement.
Okay.
Mom had hidden it for some reason, but I couldn't quite remember why. I know what you may be thinking. I could have just looked on eBay for the Pooh doll.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't had tons of money lately. You see, my wife,
Well, then
Joyce,
why did you go
lost
to
a
Walmart
raging
to
battle
look for
against
it?
ovarian cancer. I was more of a stay-at-home dad, and she was a bank clerk at our local bank. Money didn't come easily in the first place, but now, without her, I've been working odd jobs around town, trying to pay the bills and put food on the table.
Okay.
I crept to Noah's room, quietly cracking the door open, and found him watching the Winnie-the-Pooh tape once again. He was a whiz with the VCR and had no problems working it. I stepped through the door with the doll behind my back, out of sight. "Daddy!" he yelled as he ran to me and hugged my legs.
Okay.
"I have a surprise for you, Noah."
It's a
I
Pooh
revealed the
Bear.
bear, and Noah jumped with glee. He immediately grabbed the doll from my hands and embraced it, holding it close to his face.
It's creepy.
"Oh!" he affectionately murmured. I smiled briefly and said,
Eventually.
"Happy birthday, son."
Affectionately.
I thought you said eventually.
I left Noah
Ugh.
to his new toy and slumped onto the couch. Today was a long
He's
day.
British.
My eyes started to flutter, and the next thing I knew, I was asleep.
Oh.
I woke up feeling groggy and disorientated. My alarm clock read 3 a.m. Geez, I was out for a while.
Ooh, never go to
I
Walmart
lazily
at
stumbled
3
into the
a.m.
kitchen and poured myself a glass of water. My lips and throat were very dry from the nap. I was taking a sip when I heard something. It was quiet but loud enough to hear very clearly. I could hear Noah's voice. He seemed distressed. Noah's not the kid to stay up late, always being knocked out cold by, at most, 10 p.m. I rushed to Noah's room and swung the door open. His room was very dark and was only illuminated by the TV, which displayed static. I could make out 2 shapes in the darkness. One was no doubt Noah.
The other was
There was
Pooh.
another shape huddled near him. I crept a
Winnie-the-Pooh.
little closer. It was the Pooh doll I had just gotten. I was relieved, but still unsettled by the second voice from earlier. "Noah, who were you talking to?" He looked up at me and smiled. "I was talking to Pooh Bear, Daddy." Must have been hearing things, I suppose. "Get to bed, kiddo. It's way past your bedtime."
Okay.
Noah groaned with displeasure and climbed into bed with a Pooh doll bear tucked under his arm.
And
The next
his
few
arm.
days, all Noah could do was play with the doll. He took it
Picture's
everywhere
just
with him,
making it worse.
and he continued
Yeah.
to stay up late to talk
This
to
is like
Pooh
the
Bear.
Furby one.
He didn't
Yeah.
want to go outside and play anymore.
Oh yeah, we didn't
stayed
do a
inside,
video of this.
playing
Like we
with
tried
Pooh
to, and then it
non-stop.
failed.
My
100%.
curiosity was overwhelming. So, after I tucked Noah in, I pulled up a chair near his door and sat.
And
I
sat.
was going to eavesdrop on their conversation tonight. Seconds turned to minutes, minutes turned to hours,
Okay.
and not a single noise emanated from the room.
Mm-hmm.
2 a.m. rolled around, and I considered
Ooh.
calling my weight off.
I bet 3 a.m.
But then I heard something come
Oh.
from his room.
Never mind.
It was the familiar pitter-patter of little feet. I paused my breath, breathing to listen. I heard whispering. I could make out the phrase, "Pooh, I'm tired. I want to sleep, Pooh."
Okay.
There was a pause. I could hear the TV playing in the background. Static noise again. Nothing
Okay.
else could be heard. "I wouldn't do that to him, Pooh. I don't want to do that."
Oh,
Noah had distress in his
that's
voice.
horrifying.
This was against his will. I cracked the door open, and an unsettling draft hit me like a ton of bricks. The window was open. The TV illuminated Noah's form sitting crisscrossed in the center of his room, turning away from the window towards me. "Hi, Daddy." Knowing I was caught, I casually walked into the dark room. The Pooh doll was in Noah's arms, held tightly against it. I was so disturbed by the situation.
Burn
I
it.
grabbed Noah and said,
Burn it.
I know, they never
"You're
do that.
going
Like,
to sleep with me tonight."
with the doll from
He
Arnold
reached for the Pooh
dying.
doll, but he was out of his range,
Good.
and his arms were bruises.
Oh.
Not in the shape of a
I-
hand, but in circular form.
Oh.
"No Pooh for you tonight."
Yeah.
I carried him to my room and tucked him into my
Okay,
covers.
if I heard that, I would have barged
Why
in,
would he
burned the
looking at
doll,
the ceiling.
then you just
Why
I
would
was
he tell
talking
me
to my son.
then burn the ashes,
Every
and then
kid
burn
has
the ashes
imaginary
again.
friends, but no one has ever had an imaginary bully. The next morning, I awoke not to Noah, but an empty bed.
Oh.
I got up and patrolled the house for Noah. He was sitting neatly on the floor in his room,
Okay.
talking to Pooh again.
Again.
"Won't that hurt, Pooh?" I strolled in the room. Time to get to the bottom of this. "Noah, what has Pooh been asking you?" Noah paused and furrowed his brow.
Just tell him, you
"I
idiot.
can't tell you. It's secret."
Your secret. Okay, that
Noah
was
and
a
I
lame
were
thing.
very close.
That was
Too
really
close for a
Your
father and son.
secret.
Why wouldn't he tell me? The rest of the day continued very boringly, and nothing of interest occurred.
Nothing.
That night, I decided not to eavesdrop like I usually did, and went to bed.
Uh-oh.
I faded to darkness and lost consciousness.
I
And
feel
then you
bad for
woke
her.
up with the poo choking
feel
you.
bad. For
Over
the
the next
kid.
few weeks, Noah's condition worsened. He stopped leaving his room, stopped playing with his other toys, stopped telling me he loved me. Noah wouldn't even eat on most days. He lost 10 pounds in weeks. I tried force feeding him, but all he did was scream and fuss.
Oh, that's creepy.
"I don't want to eat. I want to play with Pooh." Getting
Why?
rid of the doll didn't help either. I threw it in the trash, only to find it removed and back in its place by Noah.
That's why you burn it.
The doll started to age dramatically
This is
as
like
well.
the doll artist thing.
Seams were ripping,
Like it's
dark
like-
stains appeared on the doll,
Yeah.
and even an eyeball was hanging loose, like a ball and chain. Dark rings appeared under Noah's eyes, caused by sleep deprivation. I didn't know what to do.
You take your child to a
was driving me to drink.
psychiatrist or
I dozed
whatever.
off, giving
and
in
you
to
burned the
sleep's
bear.
tempting offer.
I know, right? Like, why wouldn't he think of that?
I awoke to a loud thumping noise. It was so dark I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. Thump. What was that? My doorknob rattled and opened very slowly,
It was the
almost
poo.
at a turtle's pace. I
Yeah.
opened the blind next to my bed, unleashing the moonlight's illuminating presence.
It was
The
poo.
door to my room was open,
with
and
Pooh.
something silver glinted in the darkness.
A knife.
I squinted my eyes,
Huh?
hoping to spot something.
That'd be so freaky.
At that moment, the
I would
glint moved. It
Okay.
was moving towards me. I reached over to the lamp and pulled the string down, brightly illuminating the room.
Okay.
A huddled mass was revealed. It was Noah.
Noah.
In his hand, he
is he
clutched a Philip head
murdering his
screwdriver.
dad because Pooh told him
His
to?
eyes opened like
Yeah.
2 giant almonds. He darted out of the room and into the
Okay.
dark hallway.
I would have
He
gone
dropped
like,
something.
son.
It was Pooh.
You're
Enough's
good.
enough. I'm keeping the doll in here from now on.
Oh no!
I
What the
sat the yellow
heck?
bear on my
Bad
nightstand
idea.
under
He's
the
so
lamp.
dumb.
God, Noah has destroyed the little bear. Noah bugged me and bugged me, asking where the bear was, and I always replied, "Who went back to the 100-acre woods to visit his friends?" Weeks went by, and Noah's health was improving dramatically.
Oh.
He gained his weight back, the bags under his eyes were going away, and he started eating again.
That's
He
Hooray.
even started telling me that he loved me
But it's just
at
gonna
night
get
before
creepier now
bed.
because look at the screen.
I lay
Okay.
on my own bed, looking over the worn doll. I even picked it up and tossed it back and forth in my hands for a while.
Yeah.
I like how this doll feels.
Squishy.
Despite its aging, the doll was still fuzzy as ever.
That's creepy.
I started
Yes.
putting the doll into my bag before work. On lunch breaks, I pulled the doll out and stroked its head. I
Ugh.
quickly shoved it back into my bag when a co-worker would walk by. Eventually, I stopped going to work.
Whoa.
I needed
Okay.
more time with Pooh. I spent my days clutching the weathered old doll in my hands, caressing it, and taking care of it.
Okay.
I love you, Pooh. Dad, there's nothing to eat, Noah would moan. Stupid kid. He's interfering with my time with Pooh.
Really?
Can't you see I'm busy, you little cretin?
Oh,
Noah would hang his head and scurry back to his room.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't know, Pooh. He doesn't know the time I needed for you. I started confiscating his VHS collection of Winnie-the-Pooh.
Oh. Sorry about this. This is a current moment of...
technical difficulties.
Sure. That's what we'll call it. Okay, come on.
Hurry up, we're waiting.
That's scary. No what the heck? Says no connection. If we have no connection, I'll pause it and come back when we do. Bye. Okay, I went back a little bit, I think.
He doesn't know, Pooh.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the time I needed for you. I started confiscating his VHS collection of Winnie-the-Pooh, bringing them to my room so I could watch all day and all night. I
He's a
stopped
bear?
sleeping.
No,
If I slept,
Pooh.
Pooh would be angry.
Oh.
I don't want him to be angry. I hadn't even gotten up to relieve myself.
Oh.
My room was blanketed in the putrid smell of feces and urine.
Okay.
I don't care,
So he's been peeing.
as long as Pooh is happy.
And pooping is what feces
Noah
means.
eventually left, but I can't exactly remember when. Was it yesterday? Was it a week ago? Good riddance. I'm free of him for good. Eventually, my electricity went out. I hadn't paid the bill in months.
Oh.
I'd gone from a £180 man to a tiny £100 man. As long as Pooh loves me, I don't care. I was
That's what
forced
they
to
all
keep bugs
say.
and rats
Just
that
kidding.
unfortunately scurried across my path. The paint on the walls started to peel, and mold covered the ceiling.
Ugh.
I don't care. I do it for Pooh. He needs my time more than I do.
No, he doesn't.
Much time has passed, and I haven't been in great shape. I think I'm dying. I can't die. Who doesn't want me to die? My beard and unkempt hair reach below my chest. My clothes are in tatters, and my fingernails have grown unreasonably long.
Oh.
I sing to myself occasionally to please Pooh. Winnie-the-Pooh, Winnie-the-Pooh, tubby little chubby all stuffed with love. He's Winnie-the-Pooh, Winnie-the-Pooh, Willy-nilly, silly
Hey,
old
Winnie.
bear.
We have a dog named Winnie.
There's a knock at the door.
But she's not as creepy as that.
People have knocked before, but
She's not
this knock
creepy at
was
all. Come here, Winnie.
persistent.
Yeah,
It was hard, but
yeah.
I got up and
Oh,
stood.
you're happy, aren't
I
you?
looked through the peephole, and a man in his late 20s was outside.
Okay.
He knocked again.
Uh-huh.
He shouted something. Dad? Are
Oh.
you in there?
That. Okay. That
Wait,
was
what happened?
that was horrifying. Okay, let's
So-
go back a little bit.
Sorry, what was it?
He shouted something.
Wait. A little bit more.
There's a knock at the door. People have knocked before, but this knock was persistent. It was hard, but I got up and stood.
Okay.
I looked through the peephole, and a man in his late 20s was outside. He knocked again.
Dad,
He shouted something. Dad?
are you
Are you
in
in
there?
there?
It's been that long.
That was horrifying.
That's
Yeah.
freaky.
See, that's why he should have burned it.
My friend loves Winnie-the-Pooh. So much.
Well-
Like, so much that in orchestra she just wanted to play the song. That's
Yeah, it's not like a super obsession though. Tessa.
Peyton.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Okay. But yeah, that was it. Hooray.
Bye.
Yeah,
See
goodbye.
you later. My awesomeness is just so awesome.
That's what they all
That we
say.
decided to watch this awesome thing.
I did.
And
It's weird. There's
I
like
decided to
3
be awesome
Creepypasta
in it.
channels.
But
Creepy
I decided to
McPasta,
be awesome
Creepypasta
in it.
Junior, then Mr. Creepypasta.
Yep.
Oh, whoops.
And this-
We will react to another one later. Have a nice time, everyone.